Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be part of the MST Season 3 Group 6. And Mensol versus Really in this match, it's a pretty solid group altogether. We've got Luxury versus Memory otherwise. I gotta say, most of the MST groups this season have been pretty solid. A lot of, maybe it's just the players are getting better and better, and there's just more and more players that are pretty consistent across the board. But Luxury, obviously, the outstanding guy in this group. Memory, I would say, would be the next one just below him. But overall, Mensol and Really are not pushovers. Mensol, if you are unfamiliar with his play, he's really solid, honestly. He's been really solid in Pro League. He doesn't have, he hasn't been outstanding, but he's been improving steadily. In every single game I see him play in, he just looks a little bit better. He's shown a really good knack for adaptability. But his opponent is Really, and Really has just been fantastic for Eastro recently. Last season in Pro League, he just showed some fantastic matches. This might be his breakout time. This might be his basically time to shine, make a run in the MSL. Overlord Scout heading in the right direction, so it looks like it's going to be an early boon here for Mensol. But yeah, no pushovers in this entire grouping. Luxury is kind of the favorite to make it out, and I think he is playing at a higher level than the rest of these guys. But at the same time, Luxury can't just take a day off and expect to win. Honestly, these guys are all really solid players, and I'm excited to see Sea.Really in particular. He just had some fantastic matches across the board. So the question is has he improved from there to really reach into the A or S class, or was it just flukes where did he just have solid games that ran out? And honestly, I think Eastro could use kind of a jump of some good players in general. Anyway, it looks like this, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, Byzantium 2, looks like actually a front door seal, inverted front door seal for Really. That one of the features is that inverted ramp. I think it plays a little bit more of a factor Terran versus Zerg. Really not choosing to take his secondary and block his secondary, and we're seeing a 12 hatch on the opposite end from Mensol. Pretty standard just because it's a 4-player map. You want to go for that economic edge early. A little harder to run with the 9-pool, particularly against Terran. An early gas here from Really. So and I like this option from Terran recently. Lomo going for 2-port Wraith has really kind of popularized this, I think, in general, and there's been adaptations across the board with that quick gas for Terran against Zerg in general. Terran versus Zerg is almost always about, where Protoss versus Zerg is about upgrades, I would say, most of the time, Terran versus Zerg is about the tech race. Who gets out lurkers first versus science vessels or critical amounts of science vessels, and then ultralisks or defilers alongside. And Zerg, it's almost like Zerg has to kind of cling on for most of the match, and then it's the Terran has to kind of adapt and get something done at that stage. It's just kind of a back and forth matchup. I think it's one of the most exciting matches to watch just in general. And it looks like just a single SCV left on gas. So probably not going to see 2 factories. This is probably going to be a quick switch just to get science vessels out a little bit sooner. And we'll see if that economic switch pays. Mensol did get the spot off. He is going to see the factory. So I think he is going to be prepared for this. And keep in mind, Really doesn't have any spot at the moment. So Mensol might have an opportunity to deny the scout entirely to Really. Although it looks like, I think that's Really scout in the upper right hand corner. Yeah, that is it moving around. It looks like it's going to come across Mensol's base last. So if Mensol can get 2 or 4 Zerglings out, he'll have a good, quick 2-hatch tech here from Mensol, seeing that factory down. And I like this option from him. He knows going that quick tech route, he's not going to be in a good position. Quick lurker, cholera build here. Going to go 2-hatch lurk against this, and I like that option because, first of all, detection is going to be very limited going across the factory. I don't think that Really is going to be upgrading mines right off the bat with his vultures. The engineering bay is going to end up coming a lot later, and the academy is going to come a lot later. I think he was depending on denying that scout, however. He's not going to be able to deny that scout at this stage, and Really is going to be able to see this 2-hatch rebuild coming. So I think he will be able to adapt, so which is unfortunate. But at the very least, even going up against this, he's going to lose a degree of map control. And going quick tech, he's not going to be in as dominant a position. Well, actually, no, I take it back. He's going to take his command center alongside and upgrade mines, it looks like, with those vultures to try to cap this. So actually the 2-hatch rebuild getting caught a little bit in this. Maybe he can do, potentially he could still put down do a quick switch, and it looks like he's getting that creep colony up now. Maybe he could do a quick switch of tech, but honestly, once you're kind of caught with this, you just got to kind of roll with it. That vulture needing plant mines down, and I think Really just with that scout has taken this match. He's got that vulture alongside as well to try to pin in, I assume to pin in the Zerglings or at least get a spot out when the rest of the units are coming across. But Mensol, I think Mines will really be a key in here, and that looks like a second factory. Yeah, second factory going down. So really going for a factory build, maybe going for the fantasy route here, going to Valkyries here. I like seeing this mix-up in Terran play, the shift towards mech. I actually called the shift towards mech a really long time ago and completely incorrectly. It was kind of Katrina specific, but when you can get that 2 gas established, it works out really well. Single Hydralisk trying to work down that Vulture, not able to. More Hydralisks pouring out here from Mensol now. So 2 hatch Hydralisks into Lurker here. Pushing out to deal with some of those vultures, and looks like, yeah, that first, I'm curious if that's going to be speed first. I assume not. Gotta go with the mines first. But if there's an Overlord in position, which it looks like there might be, ooh, it looks like the vulture's able to sneak down for really, so wow, that's going to be some big economic damage early. Absolutely huge. Bunker not down in time, though, for really, and he's only got a single Vulture to try to assist, and Vultures versus Hydralisks, not a good combination position. He did manage to get the Bunker up, but I think he's only got a single Marine in there. A lot of the SCVs bleeding down, so economic damage working both ways. We'll see if those Hydralisks just decide to run by that Bunker. Doesn't actually, no, it looks like they're going to fully engage it. More SCVs coming off the line. The Bunker's down, both Marines killed, and it looks like the Hydralisks continuing to push in, so wow, really taking some hits early. Mensol's early Hydralisk build actually working out very well for him against, because again, just vultures. There's the mines going down, but looks like one, oh, nice mine to take out 3 Hydralisks right there. That's gonna be a little bit, that's gonna help really out a lot. So now just a single Hydralisk otherwise, but that could have been a lot worse. If all 5 of those Hydralisks remain, that could have been infinitely worse. This is going to give him time to at least get a couple more troops out, but Mensol in a very strong, actually economic position here, because catching basically really in a tech shift. Armory down now to try to produce some Goliaths, I assume. Yeah, there's a Goliath right now. So Goliath versus Hydralisk, which honestly the Hydralisks depends on range. It looks like they do have range, and they're outnumbering here. And some SCVs coming off the line for really to try to defend against this. This is what I was talking about. Mensol with really quick, really good with the adaptability, and really good at just kind of making the best out of worse situation, things like this. 4 Hydralisks working back against the SCVs, just trying to keep them off the line as long as possible. Try to get as many SCV kills as possible, working a little bit of damage off, and some Zerglings pouring in now as well to try to attack those Goliaths. They're going to have to back off, but at the very least, wow, really doing a lot with just a little bit, continuing to pour some more Hydralisks up. Going to take, and this is where that height, that inverted ramp, really playing a big key to this map. It looks like that, this is clever actually from Really. He's going to try to get those Goliaths to try to push back those Overlords so he can plant mines and create a little bit more of a defensive perimeter, but that inverted ramp, that 2/3 mischance, really working in the Hydra's favor. So I really like this build from Mensol, going Hydralisks as opposed to something else. Keep in mind, he still has a layer tech going, so he can still get Lurkers out as well. That command center actually working as a defensive unit right now might actually go down if those Hydralisks doesn't look like they're going to be able to run in for a pick, but at the very least it's burning. That's more resources that really is going to end up having to pour into this. Really in a very bad situation here. Bringing SCV, as you can see, just doesn't no SCV saturation to speak of, comparative really. I think that's still just 1 SCV on gas if I was looking at that, maybe 2. I didn't get a really good long look at that, but the factory burning down, the Hydralisks with the height advantage going to have with that mischance advantage really going to be able to pour into that well. So really he's going to have to really